Again, welcome to our regular meeting for Tuesday, January 25th. Everybody can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Yetsey?
Here.
Mrs. McCarthy?
Present.
Mrs. Saxon?
Yes, here.
Mrs. Mira?
Here.
Mr. Vaca?
Here. Finalization of the agenda. Is there anything to add and or delete?
The agenda is final as presented.
Thank you very much. We will move right into the superintendent treasurer's report.
Okay, tonight under the superintendent treasurer report, we have a quick presentation just on the tax budget that Mr. Piscini would like to present to the board and to the public.
Thank you, Ms. Ramsey-Casario. So I like to think of the tax budget as a mini forecast. The difference being from our regular 5-year forecast is that the tax budget is 1 year out. We're looking the next fiscal year specifically, and we're looking at all of the district's funds, where the regular 5-year forecast is just over our general fund. But the tax budget it's the first step in the preparation and the planning, the budgeting process for the district. It works in conjunction, like I mentioned, with the 5-year forecast, all of our appropriation measures, certificate of estimated resources. Ohio Revised Code does require that the Board of Education adopt a tax budget no later than January 15th of each year for the next fiscal year. This helps align the district's finances, which we operate on a fiscal year. It helps align those finances to the collection and distribution of taxes, which are on a calendar year basis. Once the tax budget is approved, it's submitted to the County Budget Commission. They review the tax budget, and the result of that is our initial certificate of estimated resources to start the new fiscal year. And it is that certificate that governs the maximum amount available for appropriation, available for spending for the district in that next fiscal year. So it's an important element, important to the Board of Education, so that we're able to set those operational levels for the district. For the 2021-2022 tax budget, we are looking at funds, the following funds: the general fund, special revenue funds, debt service fund, capital project fund, enterprise funds, and agency funds. There's multiple funds within those categories. Those are the fund types that make up the tax budget. And the beginning balance that we're estimating, which would be the ending balance of the current fiscal year that we're in. So the beginning balance to start the next fiscal year for all the funds district-wide, we're looking at 28 million. Total estimated revenue across all of those funds district-wide, 84 million, about 85 million, just under 85 million. Estimated expenditures, 61 million, for an ending balance of 23 million, almost 24 million. We have our general fund, which aligns to our 5-year forecast, and then those other funds making up the remaining of those total amounts. Those are the total amounts that I just gave. Now this can be adjusted through the fiscal year. So this is what is the initial certificate of estimated resources is generated off of. And as you may recall, you'll see from time to time appropriation amendments or estimated resources amendments that will come through on a board agenda, and those those are adjustments that we make throughout the fiscal year based on any new information that we receive or actual figures or just changes, anything that may come up where we want to make those adjustments, and we can adjust accordingly that initial certificate. And a perfect example of that would be the coronavirus relief funding. That wasn't a typical item that we would typically get year over year, and so we would increase special revenue funds by doing that estimated resources amendment. At the same time, we would increase our appropriations in anticipation of spending those funds at the same time. But that concludes the tax budget review. With that, I'll take any questions, comments, anything you may have.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, here's an opportunity of hearing of the public. If there's anything on the agenda or anything else you'd like to address the Board of Education, here's your opportunity.
We have now provided the opportunity for connecting members to unmute their microphones if they would like to address the board on any of the agenda items for today. All righty, we will now re-enable the meeting of all participants. Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to the education report. Ms. Tamira.
Thank you. We have 2 renewal agreements to consider under the education report. The renewals are with the Ohio State Board Association. The first one is the annual membership with the total cost of $6,951. And the second renewal is the legal assistance fund with a total cost of $250. This is the first reading for these items. The second reading and consideration for approval will be at our January 19th regular meeting.
Thank you. This evening, policy committee report, communications report, and buildings and operations report. We have nothing for any of those areas. We'll move on to human resource report. Ms. Saxon.
Thank you. We have a number of items in the human resources report: 3 special project supplementals, 9 certified staff adjustments, 1 support staff adjustment, 1 certified staff leave of absence, 2 support staff leaves of absence, 1 support staff resignation. This is the first reading for these items. The second reading and consideration for the approval will be at the January 19th regular meeting. This concludes the human resource report.
Thank you. We will move on to finance audit report. Ms. McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. Vaca. Items for consideration tonight, board, are the finance and under the finance audit report are the annual tax budget and amendments to appropriations and estimated resources. As we just heard, the Ohio Revised Code mandates the adoption of the tax budget no later than January 15th of each year for the succeeding fiscal year. This is the initial step in district-wide budgeting and planning initiatives. The tax budget is submitted to the county auditor and serves as a basis for the certificate of estimated resources for the next fiscal year. The appropriations and estimated resource amendments for fiscal year 2021 are adjusted to reflect federal grant funding and revenue and expenditure projections. I motion to approve the finance audit report in 1 reading.
Second.
Second. Ms. Tamira. Roll call, please.
Mrs. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mrs. Tamira,
Yes.
Mrs. Yetsey,
Yes.
Mrs. Saxon,
Yes.
Mr. Vaca.
Yes. All right, we'll move into buildings and operations report. We have a resolution to approve a memorandum of understanding between the Board of Education and the City of North Ridgeville. This agreement clarifies the purpose of the School Resource Officer Program and roles and expectations between the participating entities, along with establishing the needed commitment and support from both institutions. I move to approve the memorandum of understanding in 1 reading.
Second.
Second.
Moved by myself, second by Ms. McCarthy. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Vaca.
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mrs. Yetsey,
Yes.
Mrs. Saxon,
Yes.
Mrs. Tamira.
Yes.
All right, we'll move on to human resources. Ms. Saxon.
Yes, we have 2 items to consider under the human resource report. one resolution clarifying longevity payments for non-represented support staff, supervisors, and administrators, and one recognition of an unpaid volunteer. I motion to approve the human resources items in one reading.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Saxon, second by Ms. McCarthy. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Saxon,
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mrs. Yetsey,
Yes.
Mrs. Tamira,
Yes.
Mr. Vaca.
Yes. All right, it is recommended that the Board of Education adjourn this regular meeting. Moved by Ms. Tamira,
Second.
second by Ms. McCarthy. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Tamira,
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mrs. Yetsey,
Yes.
Mrs. Saxon,
Yes.
Mr. Vaca.
Yes. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out this evening and wish everybody a happy new year. It's going to be an awesome year this year.